to pictures coming in from Beijing. Warm, grand welcome rather. Pictures have started coming in. We'll in between cut to Nats to give you a feel. President Trump arrived last evening in Beijing with a high-powered delegation, and it's high-powered at both levels from the government of the United States. President Trump is accompanied by half a dozen of his secretaries, and on the corporate side, almost 15, I counted, top honchos, the CEOs of all the big tech from the United States, not just big tech, but even otherwise, the top corporate leadership of America traveling with President Trump. Elon Musk talked about, and Jensen Huang of NVIDIA, and of course Tim Cook of Apple, among others, Sanjay Malhotra of Micron. So, and that really, the delegation composition itself gives a picture of the kind of agenda that's there between China and the United States. It's obviously not just about trade. Trade, of course, is the biggest component of this relationship, but this is at ultimately, it's about the geostrategy that's panning out globally with Trump as president, and the manner in which the United States is engaging with the rest of the world in a very Trumpist way. President Trump arriving there. Can we cut to the Nats? First meeting there, first handshake between President Trump and President Xi Jinping happening in Beijing. Okay, the first photo op. Remember, President Trump was received by Vice President of China, not Xi Jinping himself. She has never greeted a visiting leader at the airport tarmac, and so a Vice President leading the meeting there. But what is important is that this was an upgrade from the last time when a state councillor in Yang Jiechi had received. Now the delegations being introduced on both the sides. President Xi first introducing the Chinese side. This is the formal ceremony of welcome. Okay, David K. Johnston joins us from the United States on this, even as we stay with the pictures. David, White House has said history is being made as President Xi Jinping and United States President Trump meet there in Beijing.
Well, I think history is being made here, but it's not particularly good history for the U.S. Donald Trump thought when he attacked Iran that he would go to Beijing in a very strong position. And instead, now he's in a quagmire. The Iranians are still standing, and the latest intelligence assessments say that they're in a very strong position. And at the same time, news just broke in the United States of new U.S. intelligence assessments about China, saying that China is getting stronger and more influential. And I think that historians will look back at 2026 as the year when the U.S. lost its dominant position that it's held since the end of World War II, and China began to pull ahead as the key power in the world.
Yeah. And David, we'll continue this conversation over the next couple of hours. We are getting these pictures of President Trump and President Xi Jinping. President Jinping, in fact, having a formal welcome ceremony for President Trump. These are from outside the Great Hall of People at the Tiananmen Square, the famous Tiananmen Square of 1989. But these are, of course, changed times. The two leaders having a brisk walk. Ceremonial welcome now in order after the two sides introduced each other. The delegations were introduced to the respective leaders. And we have to speak to the pictures. Soon we'll have Nats. So I'm going to be joined in by Andrew Leung. But before that, let's continue Nats.